start another Career Alive. Thanks everyone for joining us. I'm Theresa, I'm here with Anna today, and today's topic is transferable skills. But to kick it off, Anna, do you want to start by introducing yourself?
Sure. I'm a bilingual career strategist and certified HR professional. I help people seeking human resources and business support roles and career changers. And I'm here on LinkedIn because I want to motivate and empower you to become your chief career officer. You can take charge of your career. So I am originally from Brazil, but I've been to the US for many years, and right now I'm tuning in from North Carolina. How about you, Teresa?
Always love your story, Anna. I'm Theresa, and I'm a career clarity coach. And you know how so many people are stuck in frustrating and unfulfilling jobs? That's why I guide women to dive deep into what it is they're meant to do and empower them to find a fulfilling career. Because I'm super passionate about everyone finding a meaningful career that makes them come alive. And I'm really good at figuring out which one that is. I'm originally from Germany, so I'm bilingual too, but have been living in Hawaii for the last 13 years and very, very lucky to be calling Hawaii my home. We'd love for you to, everyone who's listening in, to introduce yourself, say hi in the chat, and let us know where you're tuning in from. And then if you have any questions at all, just as always during our lives, oh, hi, greetings from Atlanta. Thanks for joining us. If you have any questions at all during the live, drop them in the chat. We're here to answer your questions. We want to make sure that you get the most out of our lives. So please drop the questions in as they come along, and we have time at the end to answer all of them. And then let's dive into the topic of transferable skills. Anna, do you want to start by explaining what transferable skills are?
Yes, and I have some notes here just to make sure that I cover this topic really well because we hear so much transferable skills, transferable skills. What are transferable skills? So, transferable skills are your foundational skills. They are the relevant skills and abilities that you use for many jobs and career paths. Everybody, you have transferable skills. If you think, oh, but I don't, I want to do this, but I don't think I have. You already have some of these skills. What you may need to do is rebrand those skills for the job you want, and I'm going to give you two examples on how to do that. And you may need to upskill or reskill just to kind of learn more about that particular skill, right? So if you have one skill and you need a job that requires a little more an advanced, level of that skill, you are upskilling. If you have one skill but you need like something similar but not quite what you have, for example, a software, but they wanted to know a different software that is kind of similar but not quite, then you're reskilling. You're kind of relearning that software, but like in a different brand, for example, of that software. Let's just put that way. So your transferable skills are your superpower, and they are valuable to many employers. So how do you get them? I have 1 million different tips here for you, including your actual jobs, right? The jobs that you had in the past, the job that you may have today, volunteer work, internships, hobbies can also, you can get transferable skills from hobbies, right? Courses, classes, training. We're talking about paid and free stuff. Maybe even learning things from books that you get from your local library. You can learn skills that way. Side hustles. If you have language skills, right there. If you know different cultures, you already have the cultural awareness, right? That's a transferable skill, and that's all about diversity, inclusion, and all these different things. So communication, and that's the one that I'm going to talk about next. But I want to give two examples here of transferable skills. Excel, for example. You're going to see many resumes that people love to say that they know a word in Excel, right? So, but I'll give you an example for, my personal example here with Excel. I knew Excel well. But when I went into human resources, I have to, upskill a little bit because human resources need you to know a lot about the pivot tables, VLOOKUPs, and all these different things because you're going to be analyzing data. So I had to learn those skills. I already had the transferable skills, but I had to learn a little bit more to be able to analyze data and work in human resources. Another skill that I'm going to talk about here is communication. We all also love to write, that we have the communication skills, right? But communications, I use in project management. I had to write really complex instructions for people all over the world. And I always had to take into consideration that English wasn't their first language, the same that is not my first language. And I had to find ways to write those instructions well in a way that people would understand. So I had to hone in, the way I communicated with those people. I had to find ways to make them understand what I needed out of that project. I also had to write HR communications, which is very different way of communicating, right? Because you're dealing with employees and you need to, again, find ways to talk about concepts and change and all these different things that are happening in a way that is transparent, easy for people to understand and gather the information and know what they need to do and all these different things. And what I do today is the same. Theresa also does the same thing. We are content creators on LinkedIn. So yes, I'm using my communication, the written communication skills in 3 different ways. Now I write these posts, and I wanted to find ways to motivate and empower you to seek a career change or find a job and all these, different things. So now I'm using the same skill in the career space. So those are just some two examples that I want to give you here. But for career changers, transferable skills, like I said before, is going to be about rebranding, finding ways to talk about the way that you use your skill in the past or the ways you're using your skill today in a way that translates into the job you want, not the job you have. So that's what I had. So how about you, Theresa? What do you have for us?
Oh, thanks, Anna. That was already so much great information. Loved your example with how you can use your communication skills. That's a skill that really translates everywhere. And I love how everyone introduced themselves in the chat. Hi to everyone. And I've been noticing that people drop in hey, I'm from Montreal. And then someone else was like, hey, I'm going to be visiting Montreal. I absolutely love that. That's been happening in our lives. And it's so amazing how people build community and find people here. So thanks, everyone. I want to dive more into the topic of transferable skills. And I was just listening to an audiobook. UMAP is the name of the audiobook. And he says that 85% of skills are transferable. So I have not been able to find the backup for the study that shows these 85%, but without being stuck on this number, it says a vast majority of your skills are transferable. And that's really, really true. You have so many skills you can take to other roles, other industries. Whenever I talk to clients who want to do 180-degree career change, they always feel oh my God, I have to start at the beginning. And that's the first thing I tell people, no, you don't start at the beginning. You have all that experience, all that skill, and you'll apply it into a different way. You will not start over. I mean, unless maybe you want to become a brain surgeon and something like that. But for most roles, you will not start over. And there's actually a really cool tool that I want to share with you from LinkedIn. Let me share my screen here. And it's called the LinkedIn Economic Graph Career Explorer. So the website for this is here. I'm going to put this in linkedin.github.io Career Explorer. So when you go to this website, that's the tool you get. And actually, it has an example here on top. So you have to keep scrolling down until you get to the actual tool. And what it allows you to do is you can put your city in, and then you can put any kind of job in here. So I just took, for an example today, put in customer success specialist. The first thing it does, it gives you a list of skills specific for customer success specialist. So some of the skills that are listed here are strategic partnerships. Now that's an important skill to be a customer success specialist, but of course, there's a ton of other jobs out there where you need to be able to build strategic partnerships. You might be a teacher right now and have experience building relationships with the children or the parents. Or you might be in an administrative role where you build relationships with vendors or with team members. So that is a skill that you can transfer to different industries and positions. Same as, for example, what else do we have here? Relationship building, business development, startups, onboarding, client services. There's so many skills that are relevant to customer success specialist roles, but you might have gained them in another industry. And when you look here on the right side, it shows you what the match is between different positions. So for an account executive to customer success specialist, you have a match rate of 65%. So they say 65% of your skills are transferable from one position to the next. You might be a solutions consultant. 67% of your skills are transferable between those two positions. Partnership manager has transferable skills. Business development manager, sales director, engagement manager, customer specialist, 71%. So this really shows you which of the skills are transferable in what position you could, for example, take them to. Honestly, there are endless opportunities where you can take your skills to. This tool just shows you a couple. But I think it's a great way to see in a very specific way what the transferable skills are, or what examples of transferable skills are for a specific role, and how they can be applied to other roles. And the other thing I want you to keep in mind is that when you apply to a new position, I will stop my screen share here. When you're looking to go into a new industry or change careers, you don't have to have 100% of the skills. When you read job postings, if you meet, and I always say somewhere between 60 and 75% of the skills, you are perfectly qualified and should put in for that. So if you think back to the tool that I showed you, most of these have a skill match rate for about 60 something percent. That already makes you qualified for a role. And then that last 15, 25% of skills are skills you can learn on the job. I'm not sure, Anna, what is your recommendation generally of how much of the requirements should you match before you put in for a job?
Yeah, I give a similar percentage because I have to say I personally experienced this myself, where a recruiter reached out to me on LinkedIn, and then when I look at the job description, it's like, yeah, I didn't have all the years of experience. I didn't have a particular skill or something that they had listed in the job description. And let's be real here. Job descriptions are a wish list for the, purple squirrel unicorn candidate that we all know. That person doesn't exist, because honestly, if you meet every single requirement of a job description, then they may say that you're overqualified.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's a great that's a great percentage. You're never gonna meet 100%, and if you do, you may get bored if you get that job, right? If you already know how to do everything, like, it's just a thought.
And I need to pull this comment in here real quick. Oh my God, thank you so much for this compliment. Like, oh, that is like the sweetest. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
We love helping others. So yes, please follow us. And to go back to skills, I know we want to talk about the skill section on our LinkedIn profile.
Yes.
Anna's going to dive into that, but my thought on it is always, it's so far down on your profile, it almost seems like an afterthought by LinkedIn, but don't underestimate that section. Like when I worked in recruiting, I used LinkedIn to find candidates, and the skill section is a section that recruiters search by. So it's really important that you put your skills in that section, and especially your transferable skills if you are looking to make a career change. But I'll let Anna talk more about this.
Yeah, so before I share my screen here, I wanted to say two things. First, and I mentioned this in a previous live already, if you have, your LinkedIn as a public profile, whenever you Google yourself, it's likely going to be one of the top 3 things that is going to show up in the search results, right? So the skills section works like a search SEO. Like there are ways that recruiters can search for you, filter by skills in LinkedIn Recruiter, but there are also it's like there are ways to search for specific skills within your profile, and the skills section is the first thing that is going to show up whenever somebody's trying to search for specific skills. Let me share my screen with you all. Okay, share. Let me go here. Can you see my LinkedIn profile, Theresa?
Yes, there we go.
Okay, so yeah, the skill section is the very thing here at the bottom. So if you click here on the pen, you can ping 3 top skills that you have. For me, I have human resources, career support, and resume review, because I do a lot of those. But right now I have 45 skills listed. You can have up to 50. So you really want to make sure that the skills that you have there are relevant to the job. It can be relevant to the job you have right now, but if you're seeking to change careers, find ways to add skills that relate to the job you want to do next. So, and then regarding endorsements here, only your first degree connections can actually endorse you for a skill, because they gotta, LinkedIn wants you to kind of know the person so they can actually endorse you for a particular skill. They know that you're good at something. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that there, because you can't ask somebody else to endorse you for a skill if you're not connected. So I wanted to show you the skills quiz here. Right now, they have all sorts of technical skills quiz assessments that you can take. I think it's 15 questions. And let me show you guys here really quick. Yeah. So this is the skills assessments. It's 15 multiple choice questions. And if you click on all, it's going to give you a huge list of different skills. LinkedIn also recommends the different skills that you can take. And once you pass this assessment, you get like a badge in your profile when you can announce. Just kind of think of a job announcement. We see those job announcements all the time on LinkedIn. When you pass the skills assessment, it also announces to your network that you passed that. And then that assessment, when somebody, let me go back to my profile here. Let's say this was like a Java, let's say I passed a Java skill assessment. You would have like a blue mark thing showing that I passed the assessment skills. I posted today about skills. So if you see my post, there's a slide there, and the slide has more visuals on how that works and what that looks like. But yeah, so this is a tool that you can take and display on a LinkedIn profile, because it's just gonna, showcase even more that you have expertise in that particular skill. And like I was saying, those are mostly going to be your technical skills. There's like accounting here. So for accountants, you may want to try this one, check it out. And there are a lot of, different skills assessments here. Well, what I wanted to show you, and this is something that I learned recently. So this is what I currently do. So it's my current job, but you can also do this for your previous jobs. If you go here on the pen in your work experience, let's click on the pen here. So if you continue to scroll down, you're going to see this skills section here. You can add up to 5 skills that relate to that particular job. So for me is HR, career support, resume review, HR again, LinkedIn recruiter, and job search strategies. I already have all these 5 skills listed in my LinkedIn profile. But if you don't, and you're adding, let's say customer service, and I didn't have customer service. As soon as I add the skill there to the work experience, it would automatically show in the skill section of my profile. So I don't know when this was launched, but this is new, and I came across like maybe a month or 2 ago. You can now add the skills specific to each job to your LinkedIn profile. So I wanted to show you guys this, and then let me just close here really quick. When you go to your LinkedIn profile, those skills are going to be showing there. So right here. So yeah, that's what I wanted to show you all.
Thank you, Anna. I love that you dove into that because it's such a new feature. Even the skill, when you list the skills, that the skills allow you to show which job correlates to what skill is new. So I think LinkedIn is doing quite a lot of updates there. So love that. And a lot of times what people ask me when we start talking about skills, they're like, either say like, oh, I don't have skills, or I don't even know how to start like finding 50 skills I could list on my profile. Like, how do I identify those transferable skills? Because that's a question that I got so often over and over. I created a guide and I give that app away for free. So anyone who's listening in and would like a copy, I'll show you how to get it. But I'll share my screen with you real quick again. So this is the guide I created on how to find your transferable skills. You can get this. I don't charge for it. It's just available for free for you on my website, careerbloomcoaching.com. So when you go on the website, you can download that guide. And we'll go right into, so it first walks you through how to identify your transferable skills on LinkedIn. I'm not going to go into detail here because you can easily follow those steps. And it's really similar to the website that I just showed you before, where LinkedIn lists transferable skills or skills in general that are applicable. But what I really want to show you here is this image. Because when we talk about skills, what we want to think about are skills that energize us versus skills that drain us. So here, close this one up. Because a lot of times when we attempt a career transition, we don't want to end up in another job that makes us just as miserable as the job that we just left. And the reason if we go from one bad job to another bad job is often because we think that the skills we've used in the past are the only ones you have. And we don't like using those skills, but we're good at it. We have experience and we're looking for a job that aligns with those skills. Please don't do that. If one skill is draining you, you don't want to find another job that revolves around doing that specific tasks. So when we think about skills, put them into two categories. What are the skills that drain you, that leave you feel exhausted after you use them all day, where your battery feels empty? And then what are the skills that energize you, where you feel motivated, empowered, and energized when you get to do that all day? So put your skills into these two buckets and then focus your next career step onto all the skills that energize you. Keep that in mind, that image of you as a battery. What drains you? What energizes you? When you go through this guide that I created, and it has a skills checklist, and you want to go through this guide and you can check off all the skills where you think like, yes, that energizes me. I love doing that. That makes me come alive. That's what I want to do more of. Those are the skills that you want to check off. And I give you from all these different categories, ideas of transferable skills. So communication skills, management leadership skills, analytical skills, creative skills, physical technical skills. So you can go through all these categories and check off the ones that make you really come alive. Because our LinkedIn life is called our career life. So I love that term. And then at the end, you want to find your top 10 transferable skills from that exercise that you love using, that you're excited to use, that energize you. And those are the skills that you want to find your next career step for. Find a career that aligns with doing the things that you love to do, that motivate you and that energize you. So you can probably hear I'm super passionate talking about this. But again, this guide, you can get that on my website, careerbloomcoaching.com. It is free. And you can download that and it can help you figure out what are your transferable skills that you really enjoy using. All right, I'll stop my screen share here. Let's, or I'll hand it back over to Anna if you have any thoughts on this.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say I love the interaction in the comments. And, after the live event, I'm going to go over everything and reply to you all because, yeah, it's the whole transferable skills thing. I have to say this is it's magical when you realize, oh, I have all, like I wrote in a post, like you may have like 50 different skills, like you think, but then you get stuck and you think this is the only thing that you can do because you already have those skills. It's like you can, use some of those skills and improve on those skills, and get more knowledge, and advance the skills, like I was saying, communication, and like today, what I do today is like it's a dream to me, like to be able to write content, and engage with people, and comment on other people's posts. I mean, I love doing that. But you can use communication, written communication skills in 1 million different ways, right? So yeah, and this is a very comprehensive guide that Theresa put together. So I highly recommend that you go to her website and download it.
Thanks, Anna. And I think both of us are a great example of how we build on our transferable skills, because my background is in HR and recruiting. And when I left that position, because it was just not the right job for me, it did not make me come alive. Well, that'll be a topic for another event. But I was like, oh, the only thing I know how to do is recruiting. Like, I can't do anything else because that's what my background is. That's what I've done. And it really took me to do a deep dive to figure all this out for myself, to realize like, oh no, all the skills I've learned as a recruiter, I can use now in a way to help other people find their ideal jobs. So just looking outside of the box of what you're currently doing and seeing all the things that you can do with your skills is like incredibly like freeing and enlightening, because now you have all these opportunities out there. So that's the beauty of transferable skills. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat. And I think we just got one. Oh no, I just saw.
Yeah, they're talking about this archetype test, the assessment test.
Oh, can you drop in? I don't see the name, but can you drop in what your archetype is?
Yeah.
We'll drop for anyone who missed that event. I'll put that.
Yeah, whoever is typing, it shows as a LinkedIn user. You may want to go to your privacy settings, and there's something there that I won't remember right now, but used to happen to me. So you can be visible in the live events. We can see your name.
I will drop that assessment name for anyone who missed it.
Yes, it's wonderful.
If you have not, if you've taken the assessment, please drop in the chat what's your archetype. I'd love to.
It's free. It's free. That's the best part, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Lauren. Yes, Lauren Brown. Yes, check your privacy settings. There are ways that I won't remember right now exactly what you need to do. I apologize for that. But right now, yeah, it's showing as LinkedIn user. Yeah, archetype.
So I think it is the archetype. I know we've also in the past talked about the Clifton strengths. So that is another one, but I think the one that she was referring to is the archetype.
Yeah.
Those two are amazing, helpful assessments.
So yeah, I'm trying to see if we have any questions about transferables. Yeah, I'm trying to look too.
And yes, I agree. Connecting the dots to redirect transferable skills to other roles is the hardest part. I agree with that. It is not easy to find how your transferable skills to go into other directions. But I really think that the tool I showed you today, the one I screenshot first, can be really helpful because it illustrates in a very easy way to see how skills can transfer. And once you start thinking about it that way, it might spark other ideas of skills that you have on how to use them in other ways.
Theresa, we have one here. It was about the live that you did on Tuesday, how to succeed in your career transition in ed tech. Yeah, so Theresa did a live event on Tuesday. Yeah.
And if you go, I can drop the link to that in the comments as well. I'll make sure to drop the link to that in the comments. But if you go to my profile and my previous posts, it comes up as one of the posts for this week.
Yeah.
I know we're running out of time. It's already I think we can, the 20 minutes might be short. We might have to expand to 30 minutes. But if you have any more questions, please send them to Anna and myself. If I don't get back to you right away, my LinkedIn inbox is bursting at the seams, and I am slowly working through all the messages. But if you have sent me one and I have not gotten back to you, it's just because we get so many messages. But we hear you, we see you, as Anna always says, and we will get back to you. So don't hold back. If you have questions, we're here to answer them. Make sure that you connect with both of us and follow us to get our posts every day. Anna posted an amazing post on skills today. I really recommend checking out her post. She put together slides that cover what we talked about today. And then we're going to be live again next Thursday talking about networking, right?
Yes, this is the product of networking here.
This is, yes, us, yes. We would have never met if it wouldn't be for our LinkedIn network.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, come back next week at the same time. And yeah, soon enough, you're going to hear from me. I love all the comments. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming today. Wait, we have a question that I kind of want to get to. Rhonda, can you explain which one? What was the last one? I've taken most, but the last one? Oh, the last assessment.
Okay.
I think so. One was the Sparketype.
Yeah, it's free. This one is free.
This one is free. And the other one was the Clifton Strength. That one is about $20.
Yeah, it's about $20. And you get your 5
before we
and
leave.
yeah, there's a bunch of others like the DSTEM, MBTI, the Enneagram, and then there's a bunch of others. But those were the we're talking about those two because we mentioned those two in previous live events. So
yes.
But yeah, thank you all so much for being here. This is awesome. We really, really appreciate you tuning in and spending these 20-30 minutes in this case right now with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Enjoy, everyone, your day or afternoon, depending what time zone you're in. And we'll see you again next Thursday.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.